Good afternoon, LinkedIn. Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, YouTube. Good afternoon, world. Coming up today on today's Gritty Business Show, we have Mr. David Donnelly, powered by 360, and Adil McCaskill from Go Paperless. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sharon.
Good afternoon, Andrew. How are you today?
Very well, thank you, very well. So for you viewers out there, you might notice that either Ed's got a little bit better looking, we've got someone else on the show today as co-host. So I'd like to introduce you to Sharon Ritchie. Hi, Sharon.
Hello, everybody. It's lovely to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me to co-present.
It's exciting. It's exciting to have a new co-presenter on the show. And yeah, so you've seen it a million times before, Sharon. But just before we get going, Sharon, just 30 seconds about what you do.
I've got a couple of businesses. Primarily at the moment, I've been helping quite a lot of people, help people with their household bills right now. With the energy crisis, everything's gone haywire. And also I've been helping businesses get money back from HMRC for research, development and innovation.
Fantastic. And I also hear you're a Cobra Club leader.
I am indeed. I run Cobra Club called Wine, spelled WINE, down Friday at 4 p.m. And it's an opportunity for businesses to come on, present their business, and just talk about their week and see if they've had a good week or a bad week, etc. Over a glass of wine or a beer.
Brilliant. Sounds really good. Yes. So welcome to the show, Sharon. And yeah, we've got our guests lined up. I can see David down in the green room eating all the peanuts down there, like he does, scoffing away. But yes, so plenty going on in the Cobra Club at the moment, Sharon. We've obviously got the launch of the Circle and the new website and the upgrade, which is really good. Plenty of new members coming in. So that's always really positive. So yeah, the Cobra Club keeps going, and welcome anyone to come and check it out at www.thecobraclub.co.uk. Whilst we've got our guests in today, if anyone out there has any questions for our guests, please do pop them in the comments or say hi. We'll always give you a shout out on the show. And yeah, that's it. So what I think we'll do, Sharon, if you're ready, I think we'll roll this VT, and then when we come back, I think we'll get Mr. David Donnelly in the room.
Excellent.
Okay, all right, so here we go. Good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon. How are we doing?
Afternoon, well. David.
Welcome to the Gritty Business Show. I think it's the first time on the show, isn't it, David? Or did you come back on like 9 months ago or so?
No, first time on.
Brilliant. And yes, so, always like these days, we can find out a bit more about you and maybe something a little bit more sort of intriguing, or something maybe we don't know about you a bit later, but we'll leave that for now. So what I generally do to start with, David, is ask that time-old question of David Donnelly. We'll talk about your business powered by 360 in a minute, but where has David come from? What's your background, and what's led you up to where you are now?
Well, I started out quite some time ago in the corporate world. I worked for a firm called AECOM, and I went through their graduate program in London. So that gave me a good foundation for understanding how to write reports and do consulting work for government clients. And I was with them for about 18 months, 2 years. And then I got an offer to stay with the company, but go to Libya. And AECOM had won a big program there for the government. And I spent 2 years working there, which was a fantastic experience.
Yeah, I was going to say that must have been pretty, Libya.
Yeah, that was Libya under Gaddafi as well. So,
Yes.
so that was a real experience going from, middle class suburban England to the middle of Tripoli at a very young age. I was in my early 20s when I left the UK, and it was a real eye opener, and really taught me about the world. And it really set the foundation then for my journey over the next 10, 15 years. Because after those 2 years in Libya, I got an offer to go to Kazakhstan. And
Wow.
that was, again, with AECOM. But the client at that time was the US Defense Threat Reduction Agency. And we had been tasked with going into Kazakhstan and working out what they had in terms of their biological capabilities, in terms of their dangerous pathogens, how they're handling them, how they're storing them, what facilities did they have. So with what's gone on in the world over the last 2 years, there's been a lot of interest from the guys that I used to work for that are, much brighter than me on the whole scientific side of things. But we basically went in there and looked what did they have in terms of the infrastructure for their education. So we had a science division that looked at how the Kazakhs were educating the next generation of scientists, how they were handling the operations on a day-to-day basis, and what was the gap between where they were and where they needed to be in terms of these state-of-the-art facilities. So after we'd done that process, we then had to oversee the construction of 2 BSL-4 labs, one on the Kyrgyz border, which was a former Soviet bioweapons factory that they'd converted and had been playing around with these dangerous pathogens. And we sort of rocked up and went, wow, like you shouldn't be playing with these in these facilities without these security and safety protocols. So that was a really interesting job. I spent a bit of time working with the government in Tanzania, in a place called Mtwara on the Mozambique border. They'd had a big find of gas, and it was literally a beach, a jungle, and a load of gas. And we went down there early to help work with the government to certain, what kind of infrastructure do you need to turn, a small little fishing village into, a large processing plant for gas. And that was really interesting, a complete different dynamic to what we'd done before. But it was great fun. And at the end of that, I sort of had enough of my corporate life, and I thought, I'm ready to go out onto my own. And I had an opportunity to buy a consulting firm in Dubai, and I did that, took that over, turned that around, and 3.5 years later, we sold it to a Swiss multinational who were looking to expand into the Middle East, and they picked us and about another 3 or 4 small consultancy firms in. So then I was responsible for integrating all of those operations, not only locally, but also at head office level. And then I spent a lot of my time working on reviewing businesses that we could potentially acquire as part of their growth strategy. So it gave me a completely different insight into the way that businesses can operate and grow and look at different strategies that can really get them to the next level. So I learned a lot in that year. Especially in terms of how to structure deals. I was very naive at the beginning, but I learned a lot, and it was a really good experience. And after I sold the business and handled the integration, I thought, well, Brexit's just happened. Maybe we go back home. There's always opportunity in crisis. And I thought, there's going to be some disruption. What can we do to help business? And it was really when I was working in Dubai and I needed consulting support. And as an SME, I didn't have the funds for it, but I needed that external support, guidance, and experience, but I couldn't afford it. And I knew that it just wasn't me. And having been a consultant, I know what they charge on an hourly rate, which is astronomical at times. And I know that we like to take our time on jobs, because the more time we take, the more money we make. And I just felt that there was something that needed to be done for the marketplace and for SME businesses to provide that consulting guidance and support, but do it in a much faster, much cost-efficient way. And that really was that spark of inspiration where I said, okay, I think there's something here why don't we look at developing an MVP, getting it out into the market and going to people? This is our theory. This is what we're thinking. What do you think? And
is that all based around, because obviously consultancy, it's a wide and broad topic. I mean, there's so many consultants out there. I mean, across trade and industry. But I mean, I guess your system can't look at all of trade and industry, or are you specifically homing down into a specific area like growth or risk, or what is the system and what does it look at?
So we start the process with a systematic review. So we've built a framework that focuses on 4 key areas. So how does a business drive its revenue? How does it maximize its profitability? How does it transform and motivate its people? And then how does it optimize its performance and its efficiency? So we look at that sales and marketing management system structure, the HR structure, the finance and accounting, and then the performance and management system structure that goes across the business as a whole and is applicable to any area of the business. So as a review process, we are that front end scan of the business. So we can identify quickly where the gaps are in the management system, frameworks, processes, and systems. And we identify that and present that very quickly and efficiently, as well as developing an automated, integrated action system. So we go, okay, well, here's your gaps, here's the analysis of that, but here's your action plan moving forward. And because of the AI that we've developed in the system, we do that instantly just from the initial review that we do. So a traditional consultant would maybe spend some time doing the review, 2, 3, 4 hours. They would then go away and write a report, 2, 3 days, write an action plan, another couple of days, and then to support the implementation of that action plan, additional days afterwards. So you're sort of looking at anywhere between £5,500, £8,000 to do that process with a consultant at an hourly rate. Because of the AI that we've got and because of the software we've developed, we do it at a fraction of the cost. So for £750, you get your review, you get your analysis report, you get your action system, which you can then enter, manipulate dates, actions, tasks, assign it to specific people within your organization. And we've built in a KPI system that manages the performance of that execution. So we can see over a period of time, is that business implementing the systems and processes to make them more efficient and to take their business to the next level? And we do all of that for a fraction of the cost, 12, 13% of the actual cost of a consultant, because we've got the power of AI within our software.
Sounds really good.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. And obviously you've got this out to a few people now and it's all been tested and people are using it. What are the common problems that you're seeing that businesses face? Is it pretty much the same thing from firm to firm, or is there a really big difference between the variety of issues that people have? Is one of the big areas, people and the team and teamwork, or is it just across the board?
I think the biggest one is bringing on new clients. That would be number one. Number two would be recruitment. At the minute, a lot of people are struggling to get good people of fair value into their business. In terms of the accounting side of things, cash flow is the biggest one there. How do they manage the bounce back from COVID efficiently and effectively? If they've got those loans hanging over their head, how are they going to plan to pay that back? Yeah. And I think in terms of performance management, there's a lack of people sitting down and implementing a risk management process from the beginning and doing that strategic planning process whereby they sit down and go, well, what is going to impact us? And the important thing with that risk management process is not about what can go wrong, but ultimately, what are the opportunities that come out of it? And turning that positive spin on it and saying, okay, look, there's opportunity here, not just, we've got to be careful of this and what happens if that, what's the contingency plan? And that sort of process is not going on. People just fly. They go, we're going to do this and we're going to go. And, I'm very guilty of that. I go, I want to do something, off I go. And then it comes back to bite me on the backside 2-3 months later. And I think that's not just for me, but businesses across the board. They're so focused on go. They're not
Yes.
spending that time to baseline the current situation and go, right, okay, well, we're here. We need to get there, and this is how we're going to do it. And I get it. We've had a horrendous couple of years. Everybody's under pressure with the rise in fuel prices, World War III breaking out, or all of these huge critical events impacting everybody's ability to do business, and everybody's starting to panic, and everybody's going, I need. And the challenge that I found is that going into an environment in the marketplace where there's a huge focus on networking and collaboration, is that when I speak to people and I go, look, this is our product, there's the synergy here with you, and I think that we could really complement each other as we're going out to clients. And it's a case of, well, I want the money, show me the money, and that's been a bit of a struggle, is to try and get that mindset changed. Like we're not going to do this on our own, people. We're not going to tackle all of these crises that are in front of us and bounce back stronger on our own. We've got to be doing this together. And I think that if business owners have the ability to take that step back and that breather and go, whew, okay, what have we learned? What is it that we want to achieve? And how are we going to do it? And I think if we spent more time just taking that little bit of break to do that and reflect, then I think that the business owners would benefit from that moving forward.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what you think, Sharon, but just sort of, as business owners, we're also head down on with it, and it's hard to get your head up and take a breath of air sometimes.
Because I think also because businesses get so involved in what they're doing, it's difficult for them to kind of sort of take an aerial view of actually what's going on in the business, because you're so entrenched in the business yourself.
Yeah, it's I definitely feel for you there, David, because we're all like it, and I've run bigger firms as well, and that's the same concept. You're trapped inside your little room, and it's 8x8, and you don't really see the outside world, and it's breaking that cycle. So you're almost like giving business leaders the opportunity to have that day out once a month, to go and sort of take away, whenever I used to go away from the office for a whole day, give me a chance to think about lots of things, a bit of business planning, what the strategy is, who can I get, how can I sell, and all of those things. So I suppose trying to maybe factor sort of your sort of thing into that kind of sort of setup, I guess. It's difficult because everyone's unique and different, and it's mindset, isn't it? It's one of the trickiest things to change. And
absolutely.
So in terms of sort of, company owners you're looking to work with, David, I mean, who would be the ideal client? Size of client, how many staff, how would they look?
So we've got 3 target clients at this period of time. First one is SME business owners themselves. So we're looking at companies 5 to 25 employees, 500,000 to 2.5 million turnover, companies that have built themselves up to a size where they do need those corporate management system frameworks within their businesses, but maybe haven't started that process of doing that and need to get an understanding of where they are and where they need to be. So it's that smaller end of the SME market that we're looking for. Professional service providers, in particular accountants and insolvency practitioners, those companies that have been impacted by new technology. So for accountants that have been impacted by QuickBooks and Xero and the like, they're seeing their hourly rates reduce, or their subscription models for managing your accounts are coming down in price, and it's becoming very price sensitive, the market, because we've got a platform where we can make tax digital and click a button and it submits it for us. Likewise, with insolvency practitioners, if they're doing a good job, then they're not going to have a recurring client. They're sort of finished that life cycle of the business and go, okay, we've done our job now. And a lot of the companies that I've spoken to in that world have gone, well, we need something further along the supply chain. So before it gets too late, let's look at your business. Let's see what we can do to improve it and hopefully prevent you from getting to the end of the line. And this subscription model that we've developed is, in essence, a white label solution where these accountants, insolvency practitioners, consultants, coaches, they can access our tool, our model with their logo, and they can get it into the market and use it for their clients. Because if you're an accountant, you're looking to diversify and become a consultant, the challenge is you're not a consultant, you're an accountant. And we've seen this from the pandemic, is that people have gone, well, I've either lost my job or I've taken redundancy and I'm going to go and become a consultant. Okay, so what makes you a consultant? Maybe you were working in a finance department for an organization for 15 years. Does that make you a consultant? And the answer is probably not. So we can make you a consultant because our framework and systems and software does it all for you. So these sort of companies that have already got existing clients who can upsell more products to them, utilize our toolkit to do that. And then the third set of clients is startups and angel investors, incubators, anybody that wants to add a layer of management due diligence to their investment process. We met up with, we went to a business revival series in Excel last week, and we met with a couple of startups there. And they were like, this is exactly what our incubator is after. There's 50 of us in the incubator, and what they're trying to find is a way to baseline performance and measure that improvement moving forward. And because we've developed the action system and the KPI program integrated into that, we can do that at a fraction of the cost. So, these incubators that have got multiple firms on their platform at that early startup stage, or they've got to a point where they're like, we're onto something, but we're now having to become a corporate. I'm just an engineer. I've never worked in a corporate. I've never run a business before. What do I need to do? And this is where we can step in and provide that framework for them with our software.
Fantastic. Sounds great, David. Sounds brilliant. We are rapidly running out of time, but with all our guests, we like to find out a little bit more about you, David. And when we come back, we'll obviously find out how someone can get hold of you, etc. But in the meantime, I want you to have a little look at this video, and let's see if Mr. David Donnelly has got a secret talent. So, Mr. David Donnelly, everyone's got a secret talent. I'm sure you have too.
Secret talent. I could dance. That's probably my most secretest of talents. I actually danced at the London Palladium when I was a kid. So,
oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah. So I used to be heavily into performing arts when I was younger. That's probably my claim to fame. London Palladium. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. That's it's always good because there's always much more to people, and you'd never know, would you?
No.
David, any kind of dance in particular? Was it?
Oh, it could be focused on sort of more tap, ballet, modern, jazz.
Okay,
I was trained all through those. So
Brilliant.
it's quite good if we're on a night out. I can take the dance floor and have a little boogie and
Yes.
show off my skills.
Yeah, no, I bet you loved it. Brilliant. Thank you, David, for that. So just quickly, David, in terms of someone working with you, getting hold of you, consultation, how does that all sort of work, and how does someone get hold of you?
They can email me direct at david@poweredby360.com, or if they go to the website poweredby360.com, there's a consultation link there that you can just click in your details there. It will book in a time with me, and we can sit down and have a chat, get to know each other, and see if we can help at any point.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you so much. Been really insightful, hasn't it, Sharon?
It has indeed.
Yeah.
Very much so. And we got to know much more about you, David. Never
Yeah.
taken you for a dancer.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, David.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
All right. Take
Okay.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You got the feeling,
Okay, we're back in the room. And great to see you, Badil. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Andrew, and lovely to see Sharon here too.
Hello, how lovely to see you.
And how sunny is it in Scotland today, Sharon?
It is
glorious.
absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
Gorgeous. I've actually been outside working with my computer laptop outside in the garden. It's been amazing.
I hear it's better weather in Scotland than it is anywhere else in the UK at the moment. I think it's like 19 degrees, I think, the other day.
Yep, the sun shines on the righteous.
Fantastic. Well, nice to see you, Badil. I should get this thing up. And obviously, Badil and Sharon know each other, so that's even better. What part of Scotland do you come from, Badil?
I normally say Glasgow, but it's actually Lanarkshire. So I'm quite close to Sharon. We're only about an hour away, an hour's drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the Scottish borders. Yeah, so we're actually not that far away.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And so, Badil, I've obviously known you for a bit of time now, and obviously rate what you do and everything else, but we've all got a bit of a background. And so the first obviously question I generally ask is, where you come from, what you've done in the past, and leading up to what you're doing now, really.
Oh, my previous life, Andrew. Well,
yes. Which one?
Yes, exactly. I'll just stick with this one, shall I? Well, it's been quite a long life. It's my birthday next week. So, yes, I've had my free travel ticket for a few years now. So all is good.
Oh.
Yes, way over 60. Yep. Anyway, going back, yes, I was born in Glasgow. But when I was 20, I got married and moved to South Africa when I was 21.
Wow.
Had 3 children, got divorced, stayed a bit longer, quite a number of years longer, bringing up 3 children, 3 daughters on my own, and came back in the late 90s to the UK. So the business that I was in then and always had been was the hospitality industry. I held a senior management position with South Africa's largest contract caterer. Loved my job, absolutely loved my job. Driving around, making sure that things were done right, taking clients out for lunch now and again. Yes, it was just a fantastic job, and I think also because of my attitude to hard work, I got quite a bit of respect from the staff in the kitchens. Because they knew that I could go down on my hands and knees and witnessed me doing it sometimes to scrub at corners and, make sure that things were absolutely pristine. And I knew what I was talking about when it came to food and the figures involved with it all, as well as a business. So yes, came back in the late 90s with my 3 daughters, kicking and screaming and snot blinding them because they just didn't know what Scotland was going to bring for them. It was very different to what they'd been used to. So, they've all grown up, obviously. My youngest, my baby, is now 36 and has been a nursery nurse for 20 years.
Wow.
My middle daughter, 38, and lives in Melbourne. And that's where my 2 granddaughters are, Kira and Ida, who are 7 and 5. And then my eldest turned 40 last month.
Wow.
So and she has like my grandson.
You don't look old enough, Badil.
No,
to have
absolutely.
a 40-year-old.
Sometimes I feel it.
Feel it in the bones.
Yes, you know that kind of creaking when you get out of a chair.
The creak noise when you get up, yeah.
It's not the chair. It's not the chair. It's me.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, you're looking really good, Badil, and
thank you.
We can't hear the creaks on camera, so we're all right. So, yes. So, what are you up to now, Badil? What's your business now, and what do you do, and how do you help people, and what problems you solve?
Okay. Well, over the last, it's almost 6 years now. I can't believe it. I've been involved with digital cards. It was a digital business card specifically back in the beginning. But we've come a lot further now. And the thing that we have now, the portal that we have now, is very different to what is out there, because there's lots of digital cards out there, and they are business cards or files that you can save onto your phone. However, what we can do that none of the others can do is we track the shares and reshares. So in other words, if I share my card with Sharon and then Sharon shares my card on to you, Andrew, it will come up in the back office of my card, the dashboard, when I log in, to say Sharon has shared with Andrew. Here's Andrew's email address, telephone number, and the time and date that he received the card, which just comes across as more of a warm lead. I can pick up the phone and say, hey, Andrew, it's Bodil here. Sharon gave you my card yesterday about 12:57.
There's no about that, by the way. That's rather
Yes.
precise, Badil.
I know.
Yes, it's accurate to 59 seconds. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes. So it just makes for a warmer introduction. So it's not cold calling. And of course, it is all very compliant as well, which is one of the main things.
And are you finding that, I say, more and more people are using digital cards? I mean, I come from a traditional printer, printing background. I used to run a printing firm, so paper card was what we used to produce, and that's what everyone used to do. I mean, how's the transition going from paper to digital? Has it been helped by COVID? How's it all? What's the stats on it all?
Okay, I would say that there has been a push forward, and this is probably why there are so many card companies out there now. If you look back pre-pandemic, there was probably about 12 companies that were involved with digital cards. There's now 1,200, I think. It sometimes feels like it. However, yes, people are moving over, and I think slowly but surely. And COVID has, unfortunately, in some ways, helped that go forward. People don't want to touch a piece of paper. They don't want to be too close to anyone. So this is an ideal solution. If you either don't want to stand too close to someone, or if you're not able to meet in person at all. Because, of course, the card can be sent by text, by Messenger, by Telegram, by WhatsApp, LinkedIn Messenger. It can be posted on social media, and, of course, by email.
You have another unique feature as well, though, don't you? Whereby you have a certain wonderful celebrity that you can wheel out every time, now and again.
Yes, very much so. So we have an affiliation with the World Land Trust. Basically, what happened was, before we even launched, we got in touch with the World Land Trust and basically promised to say, for every card sold, we will give you X. What we did was we paid it forward. So they get a huge tranche of money before we even started, which equated to planting 10,000 trees. And I know that some of them were in Borneo. Now, people might think, but what's that got to do with trees and paper? And what is the connection? It's actually the World Land Trust. It's not just about saving trees. It's also about saving the wildlife. So those trees in Borneo were to help the population of orangutan.
Okay.
Because of deforestation, the population of orangutan was falling. So that's why we were part of that one, and we continue to help. And of course, the celebrity that Sharon talks about is the one and only Sir David Attenborough, who is the patron of the World Land Trust. Yes.
Right. Brilliant. Fantastic. It sounds like a really great cause.
Yeah, royalty almost.
Yeah. Sir David Attenborough. He can't. Yeah, amazing, really. But so you've got a card, haven't you, Sharon? You've got
I do indeed, yes, and it's absolutely amazing. Actually, I just updated it today with a little bit of help of Bodil, because she is so amazing with Canva and etc. and doing all the cards. But I think I love the back end of it that shows you who you've shared the card with. But what I also do like is the fact that on my background, if I'm on Zoom and I'm chatting away to people, I've got a QR code at the back of me So I don't actually have to put my details in the chat or anything. Somebody just needs to take a photo, scan the QR code, and they've automatically got my card, and it's amazing.
Right, that's interesting. See, I'm good with techie, but I didn't even know you could do that.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Excellent. So, and how long's is it Go Paperless, isn't it? That's
Yes.
the name of the brand. And how long have they been going? Like 6 years or so have they now? So they're would you class them as the market leader in it?
Go Paperless is actually only really launched about 2 years ago. However, we have been in development for a long time. I actually worked with another developer before that, as did one of the other chaps within Go Paperless. But we wanted to make something which was more in line with what the customer really wanted and needed. And of course, a warm lead database, who can fault that? Don't we all want one of them in our business?
Yeah, so essentially the system will store all the contacts that have ever looked at this, I suppose.
Well, those that have basically opted in, because you've got to look at the compliance side of things as well, Andy. You have to be sure somebody's actually opted in. And of course, they can opt out at any point as well. So it's not tracking the details of every single person that has opened up the card. It will track the details of those who have opted in. And it will show the number of times that the card is actually opened as well. So it shows up as a figure of just a number that tells you the card has been opened so many times on this date. It will actually drill down and look at the dates rather than a whole period. You can actually look at, let's say you're at an exhibition for 3 days. You want to drill down and see what is your card done over those 3 days.
Yes.
Just to give you a better perspective of really how effective it is. So you can actually do that with the back office.
And do you log in via, if I was to give my card to someone, do you literally log into it on a web browser? Is it an app? How does it sort of, how do you dish them out?
Okay, it's not an app. The reason behind not being an app is if I can mention Cambridge Analytica, quite a number of years ago, and a lot of us will remember that, data mining, etc. And there's still data mining goes on. So that was one of the reasons we didn't want to develop as an app. So it is web-based. For you to be able to see the details of your card, and of course the card build as well. So if you want to make any changes, you just log in, go paperless.eu, sign in with your own email address. You're sent a PIN number every time you sign in, and that's of course for security reasons. You will then be able to view the data there, and of course make any changes required at that point. So if you've got a promotion going on, maybe it's the first of every month you want to have a new promotion within your business, what you're going to do there is make sure that the details are there, and everyone that has your card stored on their phone or in their contact list will get that update.
Brilliant.
Oh, even I didn't know that. Oh, wow. But I just know the reason I'm saying, because today, the Utility Warehouse new magazine came out for recruitment purposes. And I was trying to put it onto my digital card. So all the people that I've sent my digital card to that had the old magazine will now have the new magazine.
Yes, they will.
How cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Well done.
Yep.
So,
it's the same with a blog. There's one of our clients, Private House Stays. She has a magazine that goes out every month as well. It's more of a newsletter. So she has a newsletter updated on the last day of the month, so that whenever anybody opens up her card the following day, it's all there for her, for them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very good.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, it sounds really good. And I suppose, I guess a lot of this is, it's just getting into it, isn't it? Using it, just making sure you use it every time. Then it gets easier. Then it just gets normal after that. And this is how I communicate with my clients and leads and people I meet, at exhibitions and all sorts of stuff. So, it all sounds really positive. So before we go into sort of, your contact details and everything else, Badil, we'd like to find a little bit about our guests on the show. And we have a whole heap of questions. So I'm going to try and pick one that I think you might like. So let's use this one. Okay, so here we go. So, inspirational people in your life, Badil.
Yeah, I think there's been quite a few of them, but I have to say the main ones would be my parents. My mum, who's still with us, she's very pragmatic, and it's just get up and get on with it attitudes that I think I've definitely taken over. And my dad, who passed a few years ago, he was always a bit of a perfectionist when it came to anything that he did. We always used to say if my dad built anything, it would have held up the Queen Mary, which was quite a heavy ship. So yes, it's all about getting the job done, but getting it done right.
Right.
And making sure that the people that you're doing it for are happy with what you've done.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, really.
Yeah. I would say if you can deliver anything, make sure you slightly over deliver. Make sure it's it's gonna stand. It's there is no falling down, so to speak. So I'm sure truly inspirational people, and we like to hear these sort of stories of touches all our hearts and stuff. So that's really nice. Thank you, Badil. So coming back to Go Paperless, then we've only got a couple more minutes. In terms of how much it costs, how it works, how does someone get hold of you? Is it a monthly charge? How, if I was interested, what would I do?
Okay. What you'll see is that on the bottom of every single card that's out there, there is a button that says try for free. And who doesn't want to try something for free? So you can actually go on to any of the digital cards. If it was mine, it would be really, really good because that boosts my income. No, that's not true. I'm quite happy for anybody in the team. If their card is shared, that they're getting an income back from somebody going on and pressing the try for free, building up a card. They can always give us a shout if they need some help. And once it goes to publish, it means that somebody along the chain is going to get a wee bit of income from it, which is really nice. But the pricing structure for the client, the customer, if it's a solopreneur, let's say, they may feel that their business is okay for spending £99 for the year. They may, however, if they're just started up and they're very, very small, or cash flow is tighter, they may want to go for the monthly option, which is about a tenner. Okay. So for £10 a month, you're getting, I suppose it's a mini website, really.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Even if your business hasn't set up a website at this point, you probably have a Facebook page or Instagram or something on social media, so you can add that into the card. A quick YouTube video, explainer video, can be put into the card as well. So again, it's really promoting the business.
Testimonials as well, Badil, because I've got testimonials from other partners on mine to let other people see, what's available. Yeah,
testimonials are great because at the end of the day, people don't really care what you're saying about you. They want to know what everybody else is saying about you and your business.
Yes.
So yes, you could have testimonials on the card as well. And that's basically it.
Yeah, like you say, there's options there for people to become resellers as well. So
yes,
a lot of people out there looking for extra streams of income. So that's perfect, isn't it? It's that's really good. And if someone wants to get hold of you, Badil, how would they do that?
All my contact details are on my card, but you have very graciously put them across the bottom here as well. Yes, you can actually get a hold of me in all sorts of different ways. LinkedIn is one of them as well. Really easy to to
Brilliant.
go, hey, where are you? And I'll
Fantastic.
pick up the phone.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Badil. It's been great to have you on the show today.
Indeed, it
And,
has. Yes.
Always
Been
always
lovely.
enjoy our chats. And how are you finding the Cobra Club, by the way?
Oh, do you know, the support is absolutely amazing. I think people need to understand that Cobra is not really so much of a referral hub. Yes, we do pass business. Of course we do. That comes naturally, but it comes from the relationships that are built.
Mhm.
People buy from people. We all know that one. But the relationships are really, really strong. There's some superb relationships. And even just, I mean, somebody unfortunately put some bad news on our community group this morning, and the number of people that have replied, and it's a couple who are very much in our thoughts because they've lost somebody dear to them. But that kind of support, I don't think you get that in other networks.
No.
So yeah, it's very much about the support. It's just amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Made some
And-
brilliant friends.
With brilliant friends, but also we've learned a lot as well, because there's so much sharing best practice and experience and knowledge in the club that we can all share. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know I've learned so much since becoming a member of the club.
Yeah, I would second that. My knowledge is sort of going through the roof even more, you know. It's, yeah, with every person I speak to, and if it's just for 5 minutes, I always learn something.
Absolutely.
Either about them or about business or something I never even thought of. Yeah, and yeah, I love it. So yeah, thank you, Badil. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
yeah, we love
Thank you.
having you as part of the Cobra Club. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you soon. All right.
I might even be along tonight at 7:00.
Right, yes, meeting talent tonight at 7:00. Anyway,
Yes.
we're going to go into that in a minute, Sharon. So what I'll do is I'll roll this VT, and when we come back, Sharon and I will wrap up. So thank you, Badil. See you soon. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Badil.
Bye.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it?
That was very good. Yeah. We've
Yeah,
had two
yeah.
really super guests on today.
Yeah, no, we're really lucky, I would say. And yeah, I just want to sort of thank, say, the guests we've had. Yeah, just interesting. I mean, what David was talking about, Libya and Tanzania. And
I was actually laughing when he was saying it too, because I remember my father was in the army, and he was part of the regiment, which was Royal Highland Fusiliers in those days.
oh,
And
yeah.
they went out to Libya and went out to Tripoli, and Gaddafi was in amongst some of the soldiers, because he was just a soldier at that time,
Right.
that my father trained. And I always remember saying that to my dad. It's your fault, by the way.
Yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it? You know, just
Yes.
yeah, blimey, it's all your dad's fault.
It's all my dad's fault. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, right. What we're going to do, Sharon, there's obviously plenty going on in the club, so we're going to test your knowledge a bit now. So this is where we read out the weekly networking events that go on. So I'll start with the first one, and then you'll go with the second one. So you'll get about 5-7 seconds to read out the event and tell people what time it's on, and anything else you can think of that's relatively witty or interesting or funny or whatever. So you'll get the hang of this really quick. So every time I get a Cobra Club leader on here, we go through this little thing. So are you ready? Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And you'll need to unmute your microphone too, Sharon. So starting off with Monday Motivation, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday morning with Mr. Ed Williamson, expert sales trainer and guru.
Yes, then we have Christie's virtual coffee club, which is on at 3 o'clock.
Brilliant. Next up on Monday, every 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. we have Cobra Creative with wonderfully talented and creative Hannah Matarazzo.
Absolutely. Yep. And then we have Monday Mayhem, which is at 7 o'clock in the evening with our very own Saffron Khan.
Brilliant. Next up, Tuesday morning with Quest West with Judith West. Every Tuesday morning from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Come and join Judith.
Oh, and we have the Cobra Business Quiz by the lovely David McKenna. Come and test your business knowledge.
Brilliant. Next up, we've got the Make It Happen Hub every Wednesday morning. Accountability Hub for small business owners. Learn some sales tips and tricks with Elaine, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Wednesday mornings.
Mm-hmm. And then we have David Lockett, who runs the Investment Lounge between 10 and 11 on a Wednesday. So if you want to know more about investments, he's the man to speak to.
Brilliant. Next up, number one Amazon bestselling author Beverly Lockett, Hive Mastermind every Wednesday, 2 p.m.
Then we have the lovely Yvonne Taylor every Thursday, 9 till 10, with a business networking event called the Jigsaw Hour.
Brilliant. Next up, we have Mr. Chris Mason every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. With Cobra Strike and the 300 Club. So come along.
Excellent. Then we have Speed Networking, run by Kath Kirkland. That's on a Thursday between 2:30 and 3:30.
Awesome. Next up, Louise Montblat, first thing Friday, every Friday morning, between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the Cobra Club.
Then we have the lovely Catriona Ellis, all the way from the Isle of Man on Titan Troubleshooters, which is Friday 10 till 11.
Awesome. Next up, we have Mr. Alan Cadden on the Cobra Express every Friday, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Here's the main event for the week. What's it going to be, Sharon?
And following that is my very own event, Wind Down Friday, on a Friday at 4 o'clock.
Brilliant. But there's only one question I now want to ask you. We see you there, but Sharon, where is there?
There is on the Scottish borders.
No, I understand that there is a Scottish borders, but all these meetings, where can we find them?
Oh,
what website address? Where can we find all these good things?
Absolutely. www.cobraclub.co.uk.
Fantastic, thank you. I ask everyone that, and no one gets it. But there you go, www.thecobraclub.co.uk. So yeah, if you want to find out, meet stacks of people, get involved in a really supportive community, then you can head to that website and there's a button to book a virtual tour. So if you want to book a virtual tour, find out what it's all about.
There is indeed. And also, guys, safe place to network. No vampire networkers here.
Yes, yeah. The good thing about the club is it's hosted, so you've got someone on reception, and we keep all the riffraff out, don't we?
We do indeed.
Brilliant. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure hosting with you today, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. I've enjoyed it, Andrew.
That's all right. And we'll see everyone else next week on the show. And thanks again to Sharon. So over and out. See you all again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Now you're watching me, yeah, all eyes on me, 'cause I've been living the good life. So come fly with me into my fantasy, and we be loving the good life, good life.
I think this dream now just hit me. Why don't you just go there with me? Surf in the skies and splash in the clouds, dance in the crowds and laugh out loud. Holding your hand, unfolding a plan. Two souls in a land like gold in a pan. Float in the breeze or soak in the sea. Come go there with me where we both wanna be. Lie on the beach or fly in the streets. I'm trying to keep this vine in the reach. Putting everything I do aside, me and you approach. We can travel to the very end of the universe. You and me are meant to be divine energy. Living with no rules in a pool of serenity. Come be my fantasy, go away with me. Lock us up in a dream and throw away the keys. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. We need to rise with these new eyes. Pull the disguise off of these blue skies. Lights in the city reflect off the shoreline. When you're living this life, you want more time. Rewind the time, align planets. Ride this comet to a new dynamic. Your eyes on me, mine on you. Living the good life, we do what
Now
we
you're
want to.
watching me, yeah, all